Now, Mercaphoria, the water god dragon, had revealed himself to the others, which Korea actually wants to take him on herself, which Mad Mori actually won't allow her to do that. Which she actually been waiting for this moment to happen, when all of a sudden they were actually been turned into ashes, which is actually the work of Skuron, which is actually another member of their gang, which we actually haven't seen him yet, but I think it's actually his work that he actually turned them into ashes, which they actually realize of what they're actually dealing with, which is actually ash magic. But then they actually realize it actually took them back where they came from. But then Mercophobia actually asked Natsu, is he a dragon slayer, which he's applied. And then he actually asked him again if he came to slay him, which he actually said no. Which they actually realized of how they actually required to seal the 5 god dragons, in which he does fit the description. So we actually realize of how he actually realized that Ilfasira was actually fooling them, which he never gives up, which he actually knew him as well, which he actually told him that he'd been sending assassins after his head during the past 100 years. So he actually told them that he actually haven't harbored any powers at all, in which he's not going to fight them, but he wanted to be sealed, which he actually told them that, which he actually wanted them to do it, so he actually going to take them to his palace, which is a nice palace, which he actually invited them as his guests, which you actually seen the palace of the water god dragon looks pimped out. I like it. Which they actually went inside where there's air in there, in which he actually turned Wendy back to her normal form, which they actually meet Carmody, who actually with Muraphobia from chapter 3, which Carmel actually introduced herself to them, which she actually introduced them as the wizards from Ishgir, which is actually a little bit off when they're actually from Magnolia. Well, Fury actually, which actually be sent by Ilfasera, which is a request that Carmel actually knew about it, which she actually say that if they wanted to plan on challenging the water god, she actually told him to do it because he actually is not a foe like any other they can actually handle. In which they actually realize that she going to let them finish of what they're actually talking about, in which she's actually his human child, which after he saved her from a wreckage at the sea, she actually lives with him. When they actually give a tour of his palace, they actually look at a prize underwater farm, which the fruit and vegetables grow to to tribute to the people of Ilmina, which is actually planted underwater like so. Then they actually show the medical facility where the injured fish are being treated. Then they actually went to the tower where is actually above the water, where they actually acts as a watchtower, which it was actually a nice tour. But then they actually realized that he can still kill humans, but then he actually understands why Ilfracera actually sends after him, which his family and friends that he actually killed, where he doesn't want to explain how or why, but he actually did it because of his change of heart, which he actually cool somewhat. But then he actually revealed that he actually wants to continue living in this world, which he'll soon disappear, which he actually saw Ilmina, which at the way that the tide sinked from into me to the bottom of the ocean, which is a side effect of his power, which he cannot control it, which he actually say that the fish of that city was actually humans. So in order to allow them to adapt underwater, he actually puts them under a magic spell that allows them to transform into fish, which the water god Fate actually that he actually commands in the past show what I mean that actually someone down passed down as miracles. So if they want to believe their religion so badly, which Happy actually asked him, why don't he just leave? Which that actually asking him to steal away their very lives, in which they cannot actually do that because he actually been waiting for someone to kill him. But before that, there's only one thing he actually must do, in which that is actually his worst nightmare. Meanwhile, Kira actually as sorry, Scarecrow, what's he trying to do because he actually told them that the plans have changed, in which the water god's power that he cannot be eaten. As soon as he revealed himself, that he actually say that they think they can deceive the dragon eaters, but he actually calls him the false water god dragon, which we reveal himself as the crypt dragon Skateron Raider, which he actually from the guild Diablos, and that is it. Alright, now we actually had the first appearance of Skiron and the the guild are actually from Diablos, and we actually realize that he's the corpse dragon slayer. But about Mergafrovia's nightmare, what this actually is about, but we're actually going to see what's going to be his worst nightmare. So we're actually going to see what his nightmare is about. So I hope that we're going to see more of that soon, so we can actually find out the rest of this mystery. I hope we can actually get it very soon. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment out what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime Guy right here saying sign out. Laters.